All right, folks. I think we're live. It's been a long time since I've been on. Wonder where I've been. It's just around, I guess. Around town. But I'll be sharing a little bit of business penmanship practice with you guys. Been doing this privately mostly. I am currently traveling, or house sitting, I should say. And I decided I was just going to do an impromptu setup here and do a live stream practice. I've still been practicing often, although I'm not making videos. I get a lot of comments asking where I am and whether or not I'm going to make more videos and if I could make a video about this or about that. I feel like I built a pretty good base at the beginning. I made a lot of videos about a lot of different topics, and not much has changed since then as far as what I know. If anything, I've simply learned that you need to practice a lot. Now, I need to grab a napkin really quick. Where can I find a napkin in this house? Alright, I found one. Okay. So here's a trick for those who are interested in DualPen work and are new and are having a hard time with ink sticking to their nib or holding on to their nib. You can actually get a napkin. One thing is you should never touch your nib with your fingers, or with your bare fingers. The oils on our hands will stick to the nib and repel ink, so the ink will fall right off if you're trying to do work with a DualPen and you have an oily nib. Now when you buy a brand new nib, or you get one online or something, you will find that there's already a naturally oil substance on the nib, and that protects it from rust or anything like that. So to get rid of that, what you can do is you can take a lighter and just put it under a flame for a couple seconds. That's usually what I do. Not too long. You don't want to sear the nib, but just for a few seconds to kind of remove that oil. And then the next thing you do is you get a napkin and you just put a little bit of saliva on the napkin, and then you wipe your nib with the saliva. And if you have prepared the nib properly and well, you may only need to do that once a week, depending on how often you write. But I usually will write for at least a little bit every day. Now, and I do it about once a week. I don't have to worry too much about the nib becoming oily. So one thing that I have been working on with my penmanship is I've been working to become a little bit more consistent in my writing. And I know a lot of the books on penmanship will say, oh, you need to do 200 down strokes per minute, or you need to hit 12 G's, capital G's in 60 seconds, or something of that sort. And I've been getting, it's kind of funny, I get a lot of Instagram messages or yeah, usually they're Instagram, where people are saying, oh, how fast can you write? And they want me to send them videos of me writing super fast. And funny enough, I've not actually been working on writing fast. If anything, I've been working on writing slower. Writing more slowly, but still using the same movement, which I think is kind of more difficult. Because to use the arm movement, it seems more intuitive to go quickly. But if you have to do an oval and you have to do it slowly, it's a little bit more challenging. And it's not slow, it's like a swiftness. You want to be swift with your movement. So I've been going through Mill's penmanship book. And I've been working on the direct oval letters and trying to be more swift with them, but not uncontrollably fast. I'm not in college anymore or have classes that when I write I don't necessarily have to write fast. I usually am writing because I want to write for the sake of writing, so I can take my time and just enjoy the process. And that may be part of the reason why I haven't been making videos as much. I feel like there's a lot of pressure making videos, in the sense that it just wasn't becoming about the writing anymore. And I really write not because I want to make any kind of living from writing, but because I personally really enjoy writing, and I enjoy the benefits of writing. I've always found this capital C to be a surprisingly difficult letter. Something I had read in the Mill's penmanship book, I have no good examples of it, but that this downstroke here and this one here should be parallel, and this upstroke here and this upstroke, which is not currently, should also be parallel. So it's something I look for in a good C. That one's a little better, but you can see they're not entirely parallel. One thing I've done also, I've been trying to kind of find a standard height for writing, not writing too large in any way. So what I'll do is I'll hit my max range, so I'll draw an oval, max range, and then I'll cut it in half, and then I'll draw a little oval that fits within my max range and my half range. And then that's the height that I aim for in my capital letters. That's a good set right there, the AOCE. Can't say I'm very organized with my practice. I tend to be very whimsical. I see some people who they have what they're doing and they do it and they don't stray from it. But that's not really how I practice. I tend to be very whimsical. Sometimes I'll veer off, do some completely different letters. This is another tough one to keep a decent height. I tend to want to go bigger than I need to on my E's. Well, now that we have a couple people in here, how was your night? What's interested you about penmanship and made you want to click on this video? Any A words you recommend? That Y to E is kind of a strange movement. I tend to do simpler descenders to avoid the loop on the descenders, but it's actually a decent one. If you turn it around, it looks just like an H. It's a pretty good Y. A word recommendations, I'll take them. Take some A word recommendations. suppose. Thin, medium, fat. Let's see here. I'm gonna move that up a little bit just so I can make sure that I do not go out of frame. Okay. E is not easy. See, I like for this center oval to be a little bit more horizontal. Something like that, but at the same time, you want the whole letter to be on slant. So you don't want it to be too upright, because then it looks weird. Oh, hi Pablo. Thank you for the greetings. Very cool to know somebody from Chile's here. Awesome. Move my ink out. Pablo. Santiago, Chile. All right. Pablo from Santiago. There we go. Probably do a better job on that, Pablo. That's better. Welcome. Oh, I've been working on this W a little bit. Where you curve that point, and I asked Reddit if anybody liked the W with the curved point over the W with the pointed point, and it was a resounding no. Nobody likes the W with a curved point. Even though the W with a curved point is much more challenging, I think it's a little bit more beautiful in its appearance also. But I think there's something about this stroke. I think that I need to modify my entry stroke. I think the whole letter needs to be a little bit more upright if I go for a curved point. You're welcome. Yeah, but nobody was a fan of this curved point on Reddit. Everyone voted on the point. And then Perfect Biscuits came in and he was like, maybe 2 curved points. Ugh. I don't know if I can do 2 curved points. I have seen other people do capitals, W's like this. But I need to look at one more closely because I obviously don't know anything about the way that letter should look. Anyways, back to the letters A, O, C, and D. This is what I'll do. I'll start somewhere and then I'll veer off in the direction that the wind takes me, and then I'll come back to whatever letters I've been working on. And then I've also been working on I, U, and W, and also M, I, N, and X. These aren't real words, by the way, I'm just moving through letters. And also R was introduced recently. And I was looking at the Q. So Q is a pretty interesting letter. I never really paid attention to the similarity between Q and Z. But it's definitely there. And it kind of helps. I mean, creating parallels between the two visually in your mind, I think, helps a ton. It's pretty good. Q and Queen. It's got some speed to it. Of course, is the King Zehner. another thing that I've been doing that's kind of weird, for some reason, I've been worrying. Okay, let me preface with this. When we juggle, or when you learn to juggle, you learn that trying to track the balls or look at any individual ball does not serve you, because there's no way you can look at multiple balls that you're juggling simultaneously. So what you do is you look at the space in between all of the balls, and you watch the balls travel through this space. So one thing I've been doing when I write is I've tried not to focus on the page. Instead, I've just been focusing on the space. And with juggling, it's very tactile. You feel where the ball is going to land, and your hand will move there intuitively. It's not anything that you're thinking about. You're kind of just responding to this visual and also the sensation. So when I'm writing, I'll kind of I'll lose focus visually of what I'm looking at, but then I'll focus more on the feeling of the movement. So I'm almost not even looking, although I'm looking. I obviously can see where the page is and which line I'm writing on, but I'm not looking at the line or the letter. I'm trying to feel that with my arm. And I feel like that has brought me some success. It's kind of a strange tip, and I don't know if I'm doing it justice, but I feel as if I'm having some good results doing that. And sometimes I'll do it very intentionally, like I'll almost look at the top of the page. So if I'm writing here, I'll look up here, and I'm just seeing, kind of like with juggling, you see all of the balls in your periphery. You don't see any of them directly, so you're just kind of seeing what you're doing in your periphery. And I feel like I'm having some decent success doing this. I don't know if this is written in any of those old penmanship books, and I doubt that it is. I doubt that they had to resort to such weird tactics with all the practice and skill that they had compared to me. It's caffeine-free ginger ale. Thank goodness. I do need to go to bed eventually, having an early morning. think one poor habit I have is pinching the page at the top. I need to just fold the corner. Okay, that works. It's really nice house sitting in a house that has AC. I'm usually sweating when I write, and I get stuck to the table. Because I don't live in a house with AC, and I live in Southern California. So right now we're in the midst of a heat wave. Today was a nice cool 99 degrees Fahrenheit. Not entirely sure what that is in Celsius to convert for you. But yeah, that's fall in Southern California. 99 degrees. Hope everyone's been well during these strange times. You can see how inconsistent my O's are when you put them all next to each other. Hey, that's a good one. Happy with that O. Save that one for the books right there. Let's see. Logic just slid into the server. It must be related to this. Sorry I don't keep the Discord active enough. I had a good little run. We have a ton of resources available in the Discord if you're somebody entirely new to business penmanship or American penmanship in general and have no idea where to start or what supplies or resources are available to you. Well, there are a ton of free resources all over the internet, and some tremendous people have jumped onto that Discord and provided resources for you in the resource tab. And you can look at all the fantastic work of past penmen who were truly masters of their craft. Unlike myself. Yep. Oh, I think I did a poll a while back asking people what do they prefer, the live streams or do they prefer edited videos? And it was a pretty, I think, unanimous vote for edited videos. And I gotta say, I much prefer the live streams. Primarily because editing takes a long time and filming takes enough time, in my opinion. And it's just handwriting, guys. It's just penmanship. I have a ton of fancy angles and other videos that show you how to approach movement writing, how to approach these compact oval drills, how to apply the oval drills. One thing that I feel I could potentially expand on, that I haven't expanded on much in other videos, is custom drills for letters. So for example, the letter A really kind of has this half oval that you use, and then you kind of go straight up from there, and then you come down at the slant line. So just kind of practicing that curve, and then also the transition to your straight line. That can be handy, and you can do this with any letter. For example, the letter O. And just trace that line, trace through the movement. I've been going through Mill's business penmanship book. Different than the Palmer book. I would say that Mills has much less detailed explanation. He's very brief. He has got a lot of exemplars. I don't know if there's more in that book than there is in the Palmer method, but the style of teaching, I would say, is pretty different. I feel like Mills might expect a higher entry level. Like once you get to Mill's book, you've probably already gone through the other ones. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but that's kind of how I felt. I felt like if I knew nothing about penmanship and I got Mill's business penmanship first, American penmanship specifically, and business handwriting, I might be a little bit lost or confused as to how to really execute what he's talking about. But because it was all really familiar to me, I did fine. But that was just something I kind of observed in reading the book the first time. But he had some of the most beautiful penmanship, I'd say, of almost any penman. And one thing in particular, I really need to work on my lowercase letters. I'm not very good at lowercase letters. And I'm occasionally okay at my uppercase letters. There's 3 cats in this house, and I feel like there's just cat hair floating all around my face. Does anybody else have or enjoy cats? So we've had one visitor from Chile, Pablo. Where are other people from? Who else is on YouTube at 10 p.m. EST. My direct ovals are so much more proficient than my indirect ovals. I feel like I can do an indirect oval fairly well one go, but the moment I start running with it, they get kind of ugly. So like that's a good oval. One go, but then doesn't maintain itself. It's kind of sloppy. Like this is really sloppy. Juan Milan. Thanks, Juan. You know, J is a really fun letter. I kind of wish my name had a J in it. Milan. It does have two L's. Those two L's are difficult. Oh, I can live with that. I think it's time for a new sheet of paper here. Juan Milan, where are you from, Juan? Colombia. Very cool. A little too loose. What's the weather like in Colombia? Hey, Colombia, C. That was one of the letters I was working on at the beginning of this stream. Should go back to that. Yeah, it's not too bad. We're still kind of opening up here. That's better. Sun and rain. Yeah, my family's from Guatemala. They have two seasons in Guatemala. One where it rains and one where it rains more. Wow, I just whipped that one out, and that is really a good looking R. I'm proud of that R, actually. Probably gonna take a photo of that one and save it for my memory. show it off to all my 10 friends. All my internet penmanship friends. Rain and sun. Usually they say sun and rain, not rain and sun. Can you guys spot the difference between these two R's? Hey Juan, thanks for stopping in. I hope that the videos are helpful. Best of luck on your penmanship journey. See, 50 minutes in. I don't normally time my writing sessions, but it's kind of interesting to know how much paper is covered in 50 minutes. See that E, this loop in the E, I like for it to be a little bit more horizontal, not so angled. No, there's something about the angle that I don't think looks good. I want it to be a little bit flatter. But then you see this tends to happen if I force it. If I force the E's middle loop to be flat, I have a really flat lower loop and then a really tall upper loop. I don't want that. I want the top one to be smaller and the bottom one to be bigger. I think E is one of my most inconsistent letters as far as execution goes. I tend to be most inconsistent with that E. Like, look at this. You don't want that to be so long. You want it to kind of be in here. It's way too far out. One thing I've been trying to pay attention to is self-critique and really trying to understand what is it about the letter that makes the letter look good. Like when you look at the penmanship exemplars, business penmanship exemplars, and you see that letter and you're like, oh, that's beautiful writing. Not everyone thinks it's beautiful writing. Some people aren't really attracted to cursive styles. So right now I'm house sitting, and this is what I have to miss. I have to miss, I don't know how good that looks there. That's my cat. My cat is the best. Oh, I didn't show you at all. Here, I'm going to try that again. See how funny that cat is? Cat's freaking hilarious. Oh, I could show you here. Look how hilarious that cat is. Just hangs out. He likes to hang out in his condo with his arms hanging over. And I get to hang out in this house by myself and practice some penmanship. Actually, I'm not alone. I'm with all, what does it say here? Well, it says 0 viewers. So all 0 viewers of you, I get to hang out with you guys, and you know. Oh, now it says 5. I don't know if it was always 5, but I get to hang out with either 5 or 0 viewers, and so that is not quite as good as hanging out with my cat, but you know, it is what it is. And we do have some Grateful Dead playing in the background, and that's great, which probably means that this video will get demonetized, but it's not like I make any money off YouTube anyways. I'll just get a notice that says, hey, you broke the rules. We're gonna take $2 from you, whatever they're gonna pay me anyways. Does anybody have a favorite letter? Yeah, me neither. I don't have any favorite letters, and try to hold them all equally. Really kind of lost it there at the end. Had a decent groove going, and then, you know, I think it started going downhill at the K. I'd say, well, it was really the I. I always throws me off. Like, I think I'm kind of good at I, and then I do an I, and I'm like, oh, I'm not really that good at an I. Oh. I think we'll make it to the end of this page, and that'll be that. Let's go back to the letters we were working on. God damn it. I almost had it. I almost had a nice set of capitals. And then the E ruined it. Yeah. I think if the E were a physical thing, it'd be kryptonite. Left-handed monkey wrench. That's all you need. I was really close to getting that one, but I think I looked at it. Remember how earlier I was talking about don't look at the letter? Comes out nice. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, E is it's definitely a letter that needs a little bit more attention. You need to give it a little bit more attention. Just so loopy. You know, really loopy letters like that, they kind of encourage this looseness and tend to get really loose, and then next thing you know, you're too loose and the letter just looks ugly. I like to have a little bit of control over the movement. Sometimes when I'm doing letters quickly like this, really loose, you can get some nice shapes. But then when you actually try to write the letter in a body, I think the ultimate test of how good you are at business penmanship is body text. You want to be able to write a page and it look consistent and the letter forms to be decent, as accurate as possible. But if you're, maybe I'm wrong in this sense, but I think maybe if you're too loose like this, and you can get some good forms out of it. You have a lot of skipping, skips. You have those proportions that are off. You have points in your rounded areas. Just too much inconsistency. So I'm trying to get some consistency, and so I've been trying to really understand the movement of the E. Not sure I'm quite there yet. Seems like with these live streams, the longer you're live, the better it is for people to even know that you're live. But that's gonna wrap it up. Let's see. That's all, folks. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was interesting. And valuable for anybody who's interested in business penmanship. I will probably be back here again tomorrow. I'll try to get on at an earlier time tomorrow, although I don't really make promises. But I will be house sitting for the next few days. So I'll be back here again. I'll stream again. And if I'm not streaming, you can count on me practicing, because I'll probably be practicing anyways. The Malik's Way. Hey, the Malik's Way. Hello, so can I joint you? Can you join me? I'm assuming you meant join. Unfortunately, this is the end. I have to be up in the morning, so I am going to turn this off. But I'll be back on at an earlier time tomorrow. I'm not making any promises, but I'll be back on. And hopefully you can join me then. Thank you, Pablo. It's my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So if you guys who are just joining us, you can hop back to the beginning of this video and watch me talk to myself. It's just as entertaining as talking to you guys live. Trust me. Okay, I am really inspired from you. Hey man, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to provide any sort of inspiration. Just practice. I've been doing this for a long time. If you're just starting, don't be discouraged. It takes years. I've been practicing since 2012, writing since 2012, so it just takes time. Keep practicing, and you will get there. Okay, guys, I am going to end this stream now. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure, and we'll see you all maybe tomorrow, maybe even tomorrow. I'm not making promises, but we'll probably see you guys tomorrow.